Custom cleats have grown rapidly in popularity over the past few seasons, with superstars such as Odell Beckham Jr. bursting onto the scene with incredibly popular designs, along with Pro Bowlers such as Eric Ebron wearing a new custom pair every single week, and the NFL supporting initiatives such as My Cause My Cleats.
These are nice.
Oh man, yeah, these are really cool. I'm gonna have to keep these.
If you can say this, before Nike started, really hooking it up for you on the customs, who was like a custom guy that you really rocked with?
His name, the company is called DeJesus Custom.
From Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, man, they used to take
Shout out, man. Shout out.
Shout out to
He might have did some force for me back in the day. Don't quote me to that, but I know that guy. They've been tight for years.
The desire and demand for custom cleats themselves has never been higher. With over 7 years of experience being a customizer myself, and for well over a year now uploading more than 100 videos, with a lot of them dedicated to custom cleats here on YouTube, we have a really good understanding on what some of the most popular questions are when it comes to custom cleats. So today we're here to bring you our 5 simple steps to painting better custom cleats. Before you get into any of your painting or let alone your prepping, I think one of the most important things that you could do is have a really good game plan for what you want your project to look like. Although you may have a clear and simple image in your head of what you want things to look like, there's nothing really quite like starting to piece things together in Photoshop with a really clean mock-up. If you were to just dive right into your project, you could end up getting halfway through the thing, spending multiple hours, and ending up with a result that you're not even pleased with. So having that game plan is going to save you a major headache in the long run. So every single day we get asked some of the same questions. Why won't my paint stick? Why won't my cleats last? And what am I doing wrong? And to me, it all comes down to one simple thing. It's all about the prep work when it comes to making your cleats really durable. Try to think of the prep work that you're doing for any type of painting as the foundation for building a house. And as we all know, the foundation is the most important part for making sure that we have a nice, sturdy house. Now let's talk about some of the materials that we'll be needing. The pair of cleats you're working on, a respirator or mask, Angelus deglazer or acetone, a Scotch-Brite pad, some cotton balls, a few different levels of sandpaper, a detail sander, tape, and finally your favorite dessert. Oh wait, wrong video, sorry guys. So our goal for prepping any pair of cleats is making sure that we have a surface that the paint can really stick and bite onto. So the first thing that we're going to do is take our detail sander and attach a few different sheets of sandpaper directly to it. We're going to go ahead and give the entire project a few passes with each different level of sandpaper that we're using. I like to use multiple fine grits, starting things off with about a 400 grit, moving into an 800, and lastly finishing things off with an incredibly fine grit such as 1600 or so. After our sanding is complete, we're ready to move into our Scotch-Brite pad and acetone combo. Feel free to really get in there and insert some elbow grease because we really need to rough up this surface just so that that paint really has something to bite onto. Now we're ready to grab our cotton balls, mix with some acetone, and this is going to pick up any of that green residue left behind from the Scotch-Brite pad and potentially any of the little dust left behind from our sanding. All in all, these steps of prepping the surface should take you anywhere from about 30 minutes to an hour or so per pair. Now we're going to go ahead and tape off any surfaces that we don't want paint to get onto, starting off with our sole plate. Now at first, if you're just starting out and this is potentially the first pair of cleats you might be doing, this portion of the entire task may seem pretty daunting, but as you start to get some more experience under your belt, the whole prep portion can start to look a little something like this. And now let's move on to the fun part. So now this is the part that we've all been waiting for. This is where you get to really let out all those creative juices, really let them flow, and just come up with something really cool. This is where you get to apply all of your design stuff that you thought about earlier, that you pre-planned out, and this is just where you really get to separate yourself from everybody else. But there's still a few guidelines, tips, tricks, and overall general rules that we want to follow to ensure that we're getting a great end result. The paint that we use for any project is from our sponsor, AngelusDirect.com, which we will have linked down below. If you wanted, you could paint your pair of cleats or whatever project you're working on with a paintbrush, all you would need to do is make sure that you mix in a little bit of duller right into your paint just to ensure that we get that clean factory finish. But for us, we prefer using an airbrush. Now when it comes to making sure that your paint is airbrush ready, what you're gonna do is take your Angelus color of choice, mix in a little bit of Too Thin along with some duller also, mix together this entire mixture, and then you're gonna wanna run this through a strainer just to make sure that we catch any possibly dried up paint or just anything that's gonna possibly clog the airbrush from running cleanly and smoothly. When we're ready to move into our painting, my general rule of thumb, really no matter what the surface is that we're working on, is going to be 2 super light base coats with allowing plenty of dry time in between, and then we're ready to move directly into our color of choice, which I'm gonna do typically between 3 to 4 super light coats, and we're gonna be allowing at least 15 minutes or so of dry time in between with a little bit of heat setting at a really low temperature, or blow drying works also. Now that we have our base coats looking nice and solid, this is where you really have creative control with your design. You can move forward with your design in any way that you want, but for us, this specific pair, we're gonna be working with a Miles Morales design. So what we did is went ahead and made a specific Spider-Man or Miles Morales themed stencil that you'll see us using here. If you are new to our channel, we post all of the airbrush stencils that we use directly to our Etsy shop, which you can go ahead and check out if you are interested. Now we're pretty far along in our project, things are starting to look really good, but now it's time to take a step back. At this point now, you've been working on your project for quite a few hours, and what I really recommend you do now is just step away from the entire thing and just go do something completely different. Even more so than just working on a different project, it's really good to just step away so you can remove that tunnel vision of just looking at the same thing for hours upon hours. Some of my best creative ideas have come from giving myself a night to think about a project, just get away, really remove myself from it, and come back with a fresh mind. Alright, now we're ready to move on to our 5th and final step. Yeah, we know, but we had to come up with a funny way to have our 5th and final step with a P in it also. So when it comes to finishers, this is the step that a lot of people get wrong when they're first starting out. They think that their entire project can be saved by using a certain finisher. They're always trying to find that magical product that's gonna save the entire thing and just somehow make your cleats wearable. So although some of these products such as Angelus Matte Finisher, Krylon Matte Spray will only help your project, they're not gonna be the sole factor in determining if your cleats are durable or not. It's really all about those earlier steps that we talked about, like the foundation of your building being the prep work, and then really allowing all that dry time, doing the painting process correctly. That's what's gonna affect the durability the most. So the way that I like to think about finishers is an image of an iceberg, where what you see peeking out from the ocean is just the little tip top of the iceberg, and that's what people think affects the durability of their cleats, being the finisher. But what really affects it is everything below the water, all the prep work, all the painting, all the stuff that you don't see. So what I hope is really coming across to you guys is that finishers aren't going to make or break your project. They're not going to be some magical glove that covers the whole thing and makes your cleats all of a sudden wearable. It's really all about those earlier steps that are going to have the most impact on if your cleats are durable or not. Alright, that is all we have for you guys today. We hope you enjoyed our 5 simple steps to painting better cleats. Do me a favor guys, if you are still watching at this point, we would really appreciate it if you could go ahead and leave us some suggestions on other videos you would like to see from us in the future. If you absolutely hated this video, we would love to hear some of your feedback on how we can improve them. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like. But other than that guys, go ahead, get out there and just create.